Sup Shredders, my name is Logan, aka Spiderhands, and welcome to SP Reviews, where today I'm going to be checking out a couple of tracks off of an album titled Lion Within Us from an act called Lion Within Us. And if we switch over to here, we have it on Spotify. This is the self-titled album from Lion Within Us. We have 10 here, but we're going to be listening to three songs. Andromeda, Unveiled, and Traveler. We're going to listen to them in that order. So we're going to check each of these tracks out from start to finish, hear what we think. Let's go. Oh shit. Oh man. I wasn't expecting it to hit that heavy so immediately. Is there such a thing as so immediately? I feel like so immediately is redundant. Immediately is immediately, right? I was not expecting this. I haven't listened to Lion Within Us before, but I have to be honest with you, it's pretty sick. Man, I love the intensity, the ferocity of those down-tuned power chords, the distorted guitar with these double kicks and the production on that's pretty sick as well. We've got some lead parts as well coming in now. Oh, some tempo parts. Wow, it's just some of the heaviest metal I've heard so far this year. I'm not really sure what genre or subgenre this falls into, but I know it's probably the best one. Yes. Damn, dude, this is ferocious. Sometimes, I just have these experiences with tracks where it's sort of surreal and it transcends the review itself. These guys sound so utterly professional. They sound at a similar level to a lot of the metal, like the heavy metal, like technical metal bands that I listened to back when I was a teenager. They're on sound quality wise and in terms of their performances, they're at the top of their game as far as I'm concerned so far. Man. It's nice to have this instrumental sort of surreal part with these reverb delay chains. The drummer is phenomenal. The technique that they're putting on display here with these 16th triplets is sensational. The vocals, I'm listening to the guy, I'm trying to get all the words clearly. I go into the unknown. It kind of feels very sort of like it makes a lot of sense with like the album artwork here, where you've got a galaxy that's inside a hand. You know what I mean? Going into the unknown like that. Oh shit, dude, this is wild. This is the kind of act, Lion Within Us, that you want to be with them in the live situation. Their live shows would just decimate. Dude, the crowds would be left torn asunder after a gig. I think there's some flat fifths in there, some flat fifth chords or something like that, some nice diminished triads. It's vicious. The tightness of that palm muting there. Now, what genre are these guys is bugging me. I mean, not that I'm trying to put them in a box or anything like that, but I just don't want to sound like a dick. Lion Within Us is a band all about writing music from our own personal life experiences with the intention of reaching anyone who can relate to our songs. We hope our music can help in any way. That is so sweet. You listen to this stuff and it smacks you relentlessly with the force of it. But that is countered by the lovely tapped guitar melodies and other clean vocals that caress you a little bit. I love that. I love how humble that description is there. This slow dance, man. There is a sub bass resonance there. There is a lot of power in our low end. The track's mixed really, really well. I can just feel it in these headphones, and these headphones are great for really feeling that sub bass, that 20 to 50 hertz range, you know. Embracing the change as I go into the unknown. Lovely lead melody here. Ooh, okay, we have got that solo game going on. I can't tell if it's these headphones, but the guitar solo sounds kind of quiet in parts, and the vocals sound a little bit quiet in parts as well. It could just be the headphones and the soundstage within them. These ones are unforgiving with vocals. Yeah, that sounds absolutely where it needs to be. Oh, those sweeps, those tapped parts. Lovely. See, that's class, right? Not just go, you know, holding that note there, letting that be a static moment, and such intensity there. That feel. At all. You've got that kick sidechaining the mix. It's like it's unrelenting. It is merciless, that sidechaining of those kicks. You can hear a lot of the components of the mix going because of it. And I totally get why we have done that, because we want the kicks to cut through, right? I don't think it's affecting the vocals or anything like that. No, never mind. I'm just hearing things. I think some of the, maybe you've got the sidechaining on the rhythm guitars or something like that, which would make a lot of sense. The leads are sounding clean, but lovely harmonies here. Kind of reminds me a bit of the Trivium stuff. All That Remains stuff that I heard in the late 2000s. Lovely coloration to it. There's these complex harmonies within it that work really well and almost contrast with how ferocious the vocals are, both with the lower and higher growls and everything like that. Really well done. I've got a lot of love for what's been going on with Andromeda, the first track of the album that we're checking out today. I believe we have Unveiled next. I'll give Andromeda a like. I really enjoyed what we were going with there. And I don't often do this. If I put a heart on your spot, you know that I really, really like it. It's just those kicks I'm concerned about, man. They're really cutting at it. But vast majority of the time, and with literally everything else, I'm really, really happy with it. It's a balancing act, man. Mixing rock and metal is just brutal. Metal nowadays, especially with the complexity of the riffs and the arrangements, and especially when you're quad tracking guitars and stuff like that. It's brutal, man. It's brutal, but we're nailing it there. Really well fleshed out song. They made the great use of the 5 minutes 11. I didn't really get a lot of the parts of the lyrics. I was listening. It was just kind of difficult to hear some of the parts clearly. You know, I got bits and bobs of it, but it was tricky. And I'm hoping that I'll be able to now that I'm sort of more familiar with the different instruments that we have in display and the types of vocals that we have in here, I can really pay more attention to the lyrics within these next few. Got Unveiled, track number 2. The opening track off of the album. This needs to be good. Okay, I was not expecting it to go full bore like that. I thought we were gonna go for something like that, but we're going for those quick ones. Have we got some triplet kicks? Some 16th triplets on those doubles? Wow, man, they're like chain guns, aren't they? Machine guns. I love the eighth note groove we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and yeah, the eighth note groove on the rhythm with those effervescent lead guitars we've got. Lovely layering there. Let's just take a moment to appreciate what's going on here, because I feel like it's very important to do that. The performance on display with the guitar parts, the drum parts, the bass parts is impressive. How well they are playing together and syncing up their different rhythms and guitar and parts of their individual melodies and harmonies and stuff like that. It's a really interesting, engaging overall arrangement. And to be able to play it that well requires you to be seriously skilled instrumentalists, and that's what we've got on display here. And the vocals is just the icing on the cake, man. Those screams and these growls in these two different parts are both voiced by performers, these singers who have incredible technique. You know, like, it is not an easy thing to get them sounding that those screams and growls that good. You have to not only be a good singer, and also know how to get the vocal fry that you want. It takes time and dedication and perseverance, and you have to be really careful with that kind of stuff, because if you have poor technique when you do those growls and screams, you can really annihilate your vocal cords. And I think the line within us have singers, you know, the musicians involved in this band as a whole are just on top of their game. Some electronic elements here. That's fun. Unexpected. I like the fact that we're messing with expectations a little bit. Pretty chorus? Come and see what I've done. Every day is a passing moment. You know, these are, I think people listening to this will be able to understand what this track is about, but I have a feeling there's a distinct, more so amount of nuance to this. There's multiple listening sessions available for this album, you know, that you gotta kind of take it all in bit by bit, repeat by repeat, you know what I'm saying? I'm riding for this part, man. Keep going, man. Woo! Okay. All right. Just holy shit! I'm so vibing with this. I love this track so much. It's you not only. I want to go back and enjoy the solo in its entirety. Just that interlude, that brief spark before the interlude, it reminds me of some of the stuff I heard like Amura and other hardcore bands. It's exhilarating. You not only have that brutal heaviness to it, that kind of sucker punches you and weighs you down, and it's so dark that you know, like so visceral that you can barely fucking breathe. And then suddenly this breath of fresh air, where you've got this guitar coming with this really enlightening solo, this shred, man. It's almost virtuosic. Like I adore it to pieces, man. I'm so stoked with this. Cool. Cool. Great break there. Great transition. Flawless. I wonder how many takes he needed for this. I don't think they would have needed many. You know, like if you can play like this, you can pretty much play anything, right? Okay, cool. Alright. Yep. Alright. Alright. Good. Send me more metal like this. Whoever is watching this, if you know bands, metal bands, or anyone doing this kind of music, and I'm not saying this because I enjoy it, but you at least know that I'm down for it. If you've got some crazy shit like this to send through to me, send it my way, because I want to review it, my dudes and dudettes. I love this track, man. I like how we had this kind of like, they just threw down, and then they had that phenomenal guitar solo, and that back to that chorus line with that familiar melody they instantiated the first time. But you kind of feel like you're climaxed and you're coming down from it, you know what I mean? Those reverse snares are really nice as well. Love the arpeggiating on those guitar parts. Great use, like the production value is there as well. You can hear those filtered vocals and stuff. It kind of sounds like you're being surrounded by the stars and all the shiny objects around you floating through space. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful music, actually. I love the contrast within it. This is the least boring music I've heard in quite a while. Not only do you have musicians who can play their own instruments and play them incredibly efficiently. Oh, it sounds almost effortless if it weren't for the fact that I can tell how much they care about it. You've got this real passion project that's aligned with it's just the small things, man. This feels like the real whole package. No complaints, man. We got Traveler, number 9 of the album, but number 3 for today. This will be the last track though, which makes me genuinely sad. But hear this, I get to listen to the whole album after this again, because I think that this album is more than good enough for me to want to listen to it from start to finish. And if you enjoyed this video, maybe you should listen to it too, you know? Traveler. Far out, man. I haven't really spoken about the music theory side of things in terms of composition and the ideas. I mean, like, if we break it down with individual instruments, like, obviously the growly, screamy vocals are a texture thing. The rhythm of that works well with the bass drum, but, you know, the guitar parts. The rhythm, the growly and screamy vocals, they were trying to sync there to make it more sort of, to really make it slap, you know what I mean? These lead parts are freeform, working through different scales and modes. There's not a whole lot of chromaticism or any accidental. I think in the sense that they were trying to keep it more of a kind of, when you've got that many notes, you probably need to make them within the scale shape or working within the modal elements so that it doesn't turn into freeform jazz, you know what I mean? And the drums are just, you can hear how this melody is modulating upwards. It's just the easy build that you can loop back to, man. Full fill there. Yeah, I don't make this stuff up. You know, I genuinely, I'm starting to get emotional about this. And when I say emotional, sometimes I listen to music and I think about how it makes me wish that a lot of the metal that's released nowadays was this interesting. You know, like I want it to be as engaging and as awesome as this. There's these possibilities that are being shown by the bands coming up now. There's no need to play it safe, man. Go all out. Have fun. You know, exceed your expectations. Just make stuff like this. Make stuff that's at this point, because that's what you need to make it in the industry, man. It's just... wow, dude. You know, like, because I've got to elaborate on it. I can't just say, wow, look, the music good. You know, like, I've got to say more than that. You know, like, just the little bits of, like, the flat seconds which get twisted and bent to go, you know, that kind of electronic sort of synthetic stuff going on with the dissonance and the sort of the chaotic nature of it. It's just a lovely change from these heavy drop-tuned power chords and palm mutes and stuff. And we go back into this. Build. The singer is just going so hard in this part, man. He is divine. I love this guy's voice. He's distinct in the mix. I know at points I've said I can't hear what he's saying clearly. I think there's just so much stuff going on that my brain is struggling to keep up with it, man. Fell for you and I fell apart, traveler. See, the problem with this kind of music is that, like, because the instrumental sections are so interesting to listen to, like the drum, the guitar parts, the bass and everything, and this isn't necessarily a complaint, it's actually a massive compliment, but you have the problem as a listener of whether you listen to the vocalist and pay attention to the story, or you pay attention to how it sounds as a whole. This is literally a dilemma that I'm experiencing at the moment. Because for me, I know I should be able to do both. Like, it's just, there's just so many different bits of interest for me that for me to, yeah, oh wow. Like, I know we've repeated this chord progression of some of the drum parts a few times now, but still, it's just absorbing it, taking it in, you know? Shit, see, I can't do this. I can't. I just want to vibe to it. I don't even want to review this music. I just want to enjoy it. It's a surreal experience. I don't have this often, where like a song that I'm listening to makes me just want to stop doing the review and just be like, yo, just give it to me. I want to just absorb this. Just let me into that world without needing to be consciously mindful of it. See, I know, oh, fuck, man, it's just, I think these are where they shine. They shine in the choruses. That these breakdowns will obliterate you, dude. They will obliterate you. They will cast you into the abyss, and you'll never return. I don't even know where to go with this at this point. I get more of that vocal filtering. Those kicks are just great. The guy must have calf muscles like bricks, man. Like the dude must be absolutely stacked to be able to keep those 16th notes going like that. See, I can hear the vocals in nice and clearly because there's not a million other things going on. And again, it's not a criticism there, you know. In certain genres of music where the vocals are just meant to be the prime focus, a lot of the pop music, like hip hop especially, you know, if you have too much going on exterior to the vocals, it is a detriment. It's a complete mess. And it's really frustrating. But in this, with like rock and especially metal, some of the technical progressive stuff, like even the death metal and all that kind of stuff, it's about... I'm gonna make you love, make you leave me. There's like, this song, from what I can hear, is about someone that is maybe that's traveling in the person. This could be wrong. This could be wrong, and I'll own it if it is. If it's a bad take, let me know. About someone who is like, yo, I've met you. I've been traveling around the place. I want you to feel this way about me, but I also need you to leave me. I want to have control over the situation. What do I do now? There's this cognitive dissonance, I suppose. These harmonies on the outset, dude. Oh, it's criminal how good these guys are. And I'm not saying it to be nice. I'm not saying it to be nice. I legitimately do not do these reviews with the intention of being nice to people. The last thing musicians need nowadays in this highly competitive environment is for someone to go, oh, I love the album. It's great. Nothing wrong. Basically, this is the conclusion for these tracks off of the album Lion Within Us are self-titled from Lion Within Us, a band who I have not been familiar with until today, and I think that's a massive shame, really. This is one of the best rock metal bands I've reviewed in my time as a reviewer. Without a doubt. Probably top 5. There's several reasons for this, which I'll break down. Basically, in regards to the story from these, I honestly don't know. I don't know what happened in Andromeda. I mean, I think there were parts about, yeah, embracing the changes as I go. I heard that part. I didn't hear a lot else. And with Unveiled, you know, talking about how every day is a passing moment, closed eyes no more, etc., open to what has occurred, and we can't take our existences for granted. You know, Traveler, which I think was like talking about, again, the cognitive dissonances associated with wanting someone to love you, but then to leave you, being uncertain of how to go between the various souls that interact with one another on a daily basis. I think there are metaphors and there is symbolism within this album. I mean, like, there obviously is. I also cannot say that as someone who is educated on his music, because I just think I need more time with this to really understand it better. I reckon I'd honestly probably need a good 3 to 4 listens on each of these tracks to be able to get each and every little intricacy, just because Lion Within Us have stuffed so much in there. It blows my mind what they've been able to accomplish within this album. Within 10 tracks, I've listened to 3, and it's made me want to listen to the other 7 within the first. I stand by what I said before. I think that a lot of metal bands need to strive to get to the level that these guys are at. If you're not offering this kind of experience to the listener, what are you doing, you know? The vocals in this album were phenomenal. I couldn't always hear clearly what was going on, I think just because of the amount of elements in the mix and maybe the placement of parts in the stereo field and stuff like that. But at the same time, I have a lot of appreciation for the technique on display, both with the higher screaming and lower growls, and also the clean vocals. We're a triple threat, right? You know what I mean? If you can do all 3, you're basically sorted in most genres of metal, if not other genres at all, you know? And yeah, the parts I did hear clearly were obviously tuneful, in tune. There was a lovely emotional variation there in some of the softer parts, especially in the filtered parts of Unveiled and stuff like that, and Traveler. But you also had that brutality in those growly bits and the breakdowns and stuff like that. The structures for these songs, I think, especially with Andromeda, there was some through composed elements, but I also think there was a lot of depth that came with these traditional verse chorus parts. Unveiled, I think, is an intro track. You had maybe an A, B, C, D section, which again I appreciate. There's complexity with the arrangement and the structure of it. I think Traveler was a little more conservative with it. Maybe had an A, B, C there. But then again, you can usually, a lot of people get away with like 1 or 2 parts. You know, having 3 or 4 is a difficult balancing act, but I think Lion Within Us managed to accomplish it. Like the instrumentation, the drums, the bass, the guitars, the vocals, but just the solos, man, the fills, the breakdown, the breakbeat, there's hardcore as hell, man. It was such a force of nature to listen to this in these headphones. It was powerful music, but there's also fragility and sensitivity to some of it as well, where the contrast was welcome. And there was never really a midpoint with any of the dynamics or anything like that. It was either you were going hard or we were taking a step back. And I think that's a way to keep an album interesting. The moment you get lukewarm is the moment where you need to press record and go take a nap or something, right? And just the production, the recording, mixing, mastering, like, you know, in addition to the musicians involved being highly competent with their instruments and their ability on a microphone and ability to tell a story. Again, I need more time with the stories of these tracks. I will listen to it again, definitely after this review. Maybe out tomorrow after I oversleep because I'm exhausted at the moment. Basically, the recording, mixing, and mastering was sensational. I was a little bit concerned about the side chaining of the double kick at the start. It sounded like it was cutting into things quite a bit. I could also hear a little bit of low end resonance. There was I was wondering, yeah, basically there sounded like there was a bit of sub bass in the master chain there. That's something that could be really helpful for a metal mix. I also think it's testament to the intelligence of these people involved in this album that they didn't limit the crap out of it. There is, you know, I'm used to hearing musicians go and master on the limiter to like 10 LUFS or loudness units, you know. I think these guys went for 14 and Spotify normalized it in a way that was healthy. I think that was a smart move. It wasn't as loud as some other metal albums I've heard, but I think I enjoyed this more because of that. It wasn't constantly screaming in your eardrums and forcing its way down your throat. It's great. Lots of love for it, man. That is effectively my review of Lion Within Us. By Lion Within Us. Hopefully you enjoy it. I don't really know what else to say about this that I haven't said already. I'm just so proud of what they've managed to accomplish here. It's an album which I wish I could have written, you know, like, I wish I had the ability of these guys. I don't know who's in the band. I shouldn't assume it's just guys. It could be anyone, you know? Sometimes I listen to a band and they really kind of hit different, you know? But please do go show Lion Within Us some love via their various social medias and Spotify pages if you enjoyed this music. Please stay cool and stay safe, and remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time, as they need the help more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on in the world. Catch you in the next review. Spiderhands out.